Om Shri Sai Ram, Dharma Vahini by Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Grihastha, the householder, is the greatest of all. Chapter 8. The ashramas, stages of Vedic religious life that regulate man's life in this world are four: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa, that is, studentship, householdership, retirement to the forest by withdrawing from householdership and renunciate. All these four ashramas are put in place and named separately because of the householder, that is the chief stage. Since the householder fosters the other three, so the householder is the greatest of all. Just as all living beings depend upon air for their existence, the other three stages are dependent on the householder. The householder not only provides food and drink to the other three, but he also provides facilities for the study of the Vedas. Manu, in his Dharma Sutras, has emphasized this point very clearly, is it not? He has declared that the householder, to attain liberation only, he must follow strictly the dharma laid down for his stage. There is no doubt that everyone, to whichever stage he may belong, who adheres to the dharma of that stage will attain moksha or liberation. If we examine the Smritis, these are the texts authored by sages based on Shrutis, but without any distortion from the letter's actual meaning. Shrutis are the original Vedas, authored by sage Manu and others, and in the Shrutis such as the Narada, Parivrakal, Jano Upanishad, it is mentioned in some instances the householder who adheres to his dharma is reckoned as the highest type of man, while in some other instances it is laid down that only the renunciates who have renounced everything and are desireless as the most revered. Therefore, the doubt may arise whether one should adopt the householder stage of life, which is the base and support of all stages, or whether one has to take up the universally honored stage of renunciate, the nivritti or the inward path. There is an intimate relation between the beneficent and taintless householder and the worship-worthy saintly sages. So, there is no harm to whichever stage you belong. You do no wrong if you adopt one or the other. All four stages lead you to moksha or liberation if you follow strictly the dharma laid down for each, and if you devote yourselves steadfastly in your uplift. Each stage is the greatest in their respective ways. The conduct of the individual, his practices, that is the essential test. If one is engaged in good conduct, every stage is holy. That is, if one properly follows and acts as per the dharma laid down for each, every stage is holy, pure, excellent, and commendable. That is the injunction of the Shastras or the scriptures. Those who are endowed with Atma Jnanam or the knowledge of the Atma do cross the Bhavasagara or the ocean of birth and death, and without doubt attain Shashvata Mukti or the lasting liberation. On the other hand, regardless of whether they are born in a great lineage or they are devotees or illiterates or great sages, those who part ways and stop following the dharma laid down particularly for them, or neglect the study of Vedas or other holy scriptures such as Gita, Upanishads, etc., or do not meditate on the Lord and are inclined only towards outward path or worldly ways, they are sure to suffer grief. There is no deed nobler than Nitya Anushtanam, or the adherence to one's prescribed regular, daily and occasional duty. There is no tapas or penance or austerity greater than Nitya Anushtanam. There is no dharma higher than Nitya Anusthanam. This is the biggest lesson that the Gita, the essence of all Upanishads, has taught. Manu also said that nothing matters for those who are ever striving in whatever ashrama or stage of life they may be, and whatever may be their caste. They will be endowed with Vijnana, or the highest wisdom, and attain the Lord. The person who is free from all desires, who has not even the slightest inclination to possess or enjoy the sensory world, and who is ever in the bliss of Brahman consciousness, such as the Vijnani or the wise person, is far, far from any tinge of sorrow, and he is established in supreme joy and peace. At least in the last moments, if man is absorbed in contemplating Brahman or Brahmanishtha, he can successfully merge in that beyond doubt. For a sthita prajna, a person of steady wisdom, such characteristics come naturally. A strong and constant mental confirmation or feeling, Aham Brahma Asmi, or I am Brahman, is the panacea for all the ills of man. And moksha, or liberation, itself comes through the realization of I am Brahman. That is the real dharma or duty of man. An agyani or ignoramus, who is low in buddhi or intelligence, believes that the body is himself. A pandit or the scholar who is capable of a little ratiocination and inquiry has mixed feelings. He believes that the body is himself, and also believes that the jivi or the individual soul is himself. But the Mahatma or the wise, who is capable of seeing the Anatma separate from the Atma through deep inquiry and discrimination, believes in the truth of Aham Brahma Asmi, I am Brahman, and he does not stray away from that conviction. The castes like Brahmana, complexions or skin tones, like Aruna or tawny or reddish brown, ashramas, stages of life, like Brahmacharya or the celibacy, etc., they are only Deha dharmas or the corporeal dharmas. They are not the Atma dharmas or the dharmas of the inner self. Moreover, Deha dharmas are conditioned by time and place. They are motivated by reasons related to this world, and they only cause bondage. They are ordained by the Bhagavad Sankalpa or divine will for the sustenance and administration of the world. They have to be observed by everyone who is bound by worldly limitations. For those who are untouched by limitations and extensions, that is to say, who are beyond worldly ties, these Deha dharmas or acharas do not count. That is why the persons who are ever engaged in the contemplation of Brahman or the Brahmanishtas, those who have grasped the basic reality or the Tattvetas, do not observe them so much. They are not bound to caste or color. They see everything as Brahma Tattvam or absolute reality itself. But until that stage is reached, you have to follow the rules of caste and ashramas or the stage of life without exception. This is the Deha Dharma or the Dharma for the body conscious. The great sages who grasped the truth about Atma Dharma declared that Sat, Chit and Ananda, or the being, awareness and bliss, are the three Swarupa Lakshanas, or the essential characteristics of the Atma Dharma. Therefore, those great sages who are Mahavigyanis can be said to have attained Brahman, which is essentially Sat Chit Ananda itself. For mukti or liberation, Atma Shuddhi or self-purification is what is needed, not caste or color. How to attain Atma Shuddhi? The answer is through Dharma Acharana, practice of Dharma. And for the practice of Dharma, the Varna, class or caste and ashrama are very much necessary. Only through the practice of Dharma laid down for each class of men and stage of life, Atma Shuddhi or the purification of the self is possible. Through Atma Shuddhi, moksha or liberation is attained. Though caste and stage of life are not the conditions for moksha, they are very much needed for Atma Shuddhi. The practice of Dharma fills you with experience. Through that experience, truth is established. The truth brings forth purification, and the purification leads to liberation. Those with Suddhi Rupa Manastattvam, that is purified nature of mind, may belong to any caste or stage of life. That does not matter. They will become free from all bondages and do attain liberation because they have got the Antakarana Shuddhi or the mental purity, which is the necessary qualification for Vijnanam or spiritual wisdom. That is what the scriptures mean when they say only those with Antakarana Shuddhi can attain moksha. Those who have raga and dvesha, that is attachment and hatred, even if they dwell in the forest, cannot escape dosham or the defectiveness. Those who have indriya nigraha or those who have conquered the senses, even if they are householders, can be tapasvis or the ascetics. If engaged in acts which are not harmful or condemned, they are entitled to be called jnanis or spiritually wise people. Wherever or whichever stage of life they are in, for the one who is free of raga or attachment, his home itself is the tapovanam or the place of penance. Mukti or liberation cannot be won by progeny or by riches or by charity or by yajnas and yagas or sacrificial rites. The only qualification needed for liberation is Atma Shuddhi or the purification of the self. Therefore, in order to decide what is right action and wrong, the Shastra or the scripture alone is the pranama, is the praman or an accurate means of inferring knowledge that cannot be negated by any other means of knowledge. Whether one is a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha or sannyasi or whatever path one chooses, if the person has the realization of the Parabrahman, which is his Swarupa or own true reality, as the goal, and if he constantly strives to realize it, he will surely succeed in attaining vimukti or liberation with ease. Svatmadrishti or attention fixed to realize or have the vision of one's own true self is the means of moksha, liberation. Understanding that this is the lesson that the Vedanta teach, if one adheres to practicing the principles of dharma laid down for the particular ashrama, anyone, whatever the caste, can attain Parama Padvi, or the highest status or liberation, if there is the will and the strength to adhere strictly to Grihastha Ashram Dharma or the householder Dharma, and if one is able to free oneself from all hindrances or bindings in acquiring jnana or wisdom through that wealth of vijnana, sampati or the spiritual wisdom, one can even without entering sannyasa ashram remain a householder and yet become free from all moha bandhana or the delusional bindings and get liberated. Raja Rishi or the sages of royal descent like King Janaka, Ashwapati and Dilipa attained Parama Mukti or liberation while continuing in the householder stage. They strictly adhered and steadfastly followed the Grihastha Ashrama Dharma and thereby succeeded in overcoming all obstacles by winning the grace of the Lord. They had Nirvikalpa Samadhi as their goal, that is, the Godhead they wanted to reach, and constantly fix their attention on that Godhead. Isn't it? Therefore, do not doubt it. The stage of householder is no hindrance for attaining liberation. The husband and wife must both have the harmony of mind and agree upon that they should cross this ocean of samsara or cycle of worldly existence and attain mukti or liberation comfortably while remaining as householders and following the dharma laid down for them, or the Grihastha Ashrama Dharma. Couples who strictly adhere and follow this path are sure to attain moksha or liberation. This resolution to reach that goal must be equally strong and steady in both. Otherwise, sannyasa or renunciation is the refuge. See, even the midday sun is associated with his consort Chaya Devi or goddess Chaya Devi or goddess of shadow. The full and clear moon with all its 16 kalas or faces is closely associated with the cool rays of light acting like nectar. So too, no matter how great person a husband is, he will shine with sacredness only by his dharam-patni or dharmic wife, who is filled with virtues such as prasannata or purity, shanti, peace, shama or forbearance, and shila or moral conduct. There is no rule that a grihastha or householder should renunciate, even though he is always facing obstacles in his spiritual sadhana and is completely detached from all worldly desires. No matter how big obstacles he may be facing, renunciation can never be fruitful without the full approval of his wife. If still bothered by the difficulties in the spiritual sadhana, and both the husband and wife have the harmony of thoughts and agree upon, both can adopt vanaprastha ashram and retire to forest. However, if they have children who are young and not independent yet, even adopting vanaprastha ashram at that stage is not favored by the scriptures. They can take vanaprastha ashram after making their children independent and with no objections from them. The Shastras or the scriptures therefore recommend that a person has to be in the householder stage till the age of 48. Whether any hindrances arise or not, also this is in favor of the world. One has to be in it and must perform one's duty without hindrance. If hindrances come, dedicate and accept them as the will of the Lord and repent for it. That is the way to follow the householder dharma. Grihastha dharma is same for both wife and husband. Jai Sai Ram.
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ